I knew something was wrong the moment I saw my brother sitting on the curb, hands shaking, phone clutched in his lap like it was the only thing holding him together. My deaf brother, crying, and standing over him, our HOA president, arms crossed, face red, lips moving aggressively while she pointed at him like he was some kind of criminal. I couldn't hear what she was saying from across the street, but I could see everything, the rage in her posture, the accusation in her eyes, the way my brother kept signing frantically, trying to explain himself while she just ignored him. And in that moment, I realized something chilling. She thought he was ignoring her on purpose, and she was about to make it her mission to punish him for it. Beat. Let me rewind. My name is Daniel, and my younger brother, Eli, is 22 years old. He's been deaf since birth. Not hard of hearing, fully deaf. Sign language is his primary language, and while he reads lips a little, it's difficult, exhausting, and unreliable. Eli is also one of the kindest people I've ever known. The type who smiles at strangers. The type who helps elderly neighbors carry groceries. The type who apologizes even when someone else bumps into him. So when we moved into a suburban neighborhood with an HOA, I thought the biggest challenge would be the lawn regulations. I was wrong, because the moment we met her, I knew we were in trouble. Her real name was Linda, but no one called her that. Behind closed doors, neighbors called her what she truly was. HOA Karen. She was mid-50s, bleach blonde bob haircut, permanent scowl, always wearing athletic clothes despite never seeming to exercise. She walked the neighborhood like she owned it, clipboard in hand, measuring tape sometimes, camera on her phone always ready. She didn't introduce herself like a normal person. The first thing she ever said to me was, "You're allowed 2 trash bins, not 3. You need to remove one immediately." No hello, no welcome, just authority. That should have been my warning sign. But I still never imagined she'd target my brother. Scene shift, establishing Eli's world. Eli had just started to feel comfortable in the neighborhood. He'd mapped out his walking routes, found the quiet streets, the friendly neighbors who smiled back, the dog on Oak Lane that always wagged its tail when he passed by. This place was becoming his safe space, until Karen decided he was a problem. It started small, a note taped to our door. "Your guest parked in front of my house again. This is unacceptable." Eli had parked there. A post on the HOA Facebook group. "Some residents are being disrespectful and ignoring basic community rules." She was talking about him. I didn't realize the pattern yet. But she had noticed something. She had noticed that when she spoke to Eli, he didn't respond. And instead of asking why, she assumed the worst. The day everything exploded started with a simple misunderstanding and ended with flashing police lights. It was a Thursday afternoon when Karen first directly confronted Eli. I know this because the security camera footage timestamp burned itself into my brain. 2:17 p.m. Eli had just come back from a walk. He was unlocking the front door when Karen marched up behind him, fast and furious, waving her phone in the air. He didn't see her. He didn't hear her. Because he couldn't. She started talking anyway. You can see it clearly on the footage. Her mouth moving rapidly, hands gesturing wildly. She tapped his shoulder sharply. Eli turned around, startled. He smiled politely. That nervous, kind smile he always gives strangers. He signed, "Sorry, deaf," while pointing gently to his ear. Karen blinked, paused, then frowned. And instead of adjusting her behavior like a normal human being, she doubled down. She started speaking louder, as if volume would fix everything. Her face twisted with irritation. Her gestures grew sharper, accusatory. Eli kept signing, trying to explain. She wasn't having it. Eventually, she threw her hands up dramatically and stormed off. I wish I could say that was the end of it. It wasn't. That was just the beginning. Escalation begins. Over the next week, things escalated quickly. Another note: "Tell your brother to show some respect when adults speak to him." A complaint email forwarded to me by the HOA board. "Your household is creating tension by refusing to communicate with leadership." Leadership. I emailed back explaining Eli's disability clearly, politely, professionally. I thought that would settle it. Karen responded 2 minutes later. "Plenty of people fake disabilities for attention. That's not an excuse for rudeness." I stared at the screen, stunned. Fake. She thought my brother was faking being deaf, and now she was angry that he wouldn't perform normalcy for her comfort. Emotional shift. Eli started withdrawing. He stopped going on his evening walks. He avoided the front yard. He jumped whenever someone approached from behind. One night he showed me a video on his phone. Karen had followed him down the street, filming him, mouthing exaggerated words, pointing at him, mocking him. And the comments she later posted online were worse. "This young man is disrespectful." won't answer when spoken to. Clearly hiding something. She was building a narrative, and the neighborhood was starting to believe it. Cliffhanger. Then came the day she crossed a line so severe. There was no going back. It was Saturday morning. I was at work when I got a frantic text from Eli. Come home, scared. 2 words that hit harder than anything else. When I pulled onto our street, I immediately saw a police cruiser parked down the block. My stomach dropped. But the officers weren't there for us. Not yet. Neighbors were gathered in clusters, whispering, watching, phones out. And in the center of it all stood Karen, crying, dramatically, performatively, telling anyone who would listen that she had been threatened by my brother. I pushed through the crowd and found Eli inside our house, shaking uncontrollably. He showed me his phone, a video recording. Karen had cornered him near the mailbox cluster. You can see it clearly, her face inches from his, her finger jabbing toward his chest, her mouth forming the words slowly, exaggerated. If you keep ignoring me, I will make sure you regret it. People like you don't belong here. People like you. I felt something cold settle in my chest. Eli hadn't threatened her. She had threatened him, and she didn't realize he had recorded everything. Turning point. I walked outside and confronted her calmly. Leave my brother alone, I said. Her eyes widened like she'd been waiting for this moment. Oh, now you want to talk? Your brother's behavior is unacceptable. He's been harassing me for weeks. The lie came so easily to her, so smoothly. I told her we had footage. Her confidence flickered, just for a second. Then she scoffed. No one's going to believe him over me. That's when I realized something important. She wasn't just ignorant. She was dangerous. Cliffhanger. And when the police finally reviewed the evidence, the truth exploded far beyond our neighborhood. The officers agreed to review the footage. All of it. Our door camera, Eli's recordings, the HOA email thread, Karen's public posts. They didn't interrupt. They didn't argue. They just watched. And the longer they watched, the darker their expressions became. One officer finally looked up and said, "Ma'am, step over here." Karen's confident posture crumbled instantly. They explained calmly that threatening behavior, harassment, and discriminatory conduct were serious matters. She tried to backtrack, tried to cry harder, tried to claim she was the victim. It didn't work, because evidence doesn't care about crocodile tears. Justice arrives. When they placed her in handcuffs, the entire street went silent. The woman who ruled this neighborhood with fear now stood there shaking. Eli watched from the doorway. The officer turned to him, signed clumsily but sincerely. "Sorry, you safe now?" Eli cried. So did I. Community shift. The aftermath was swift. Karen was removed from the HOA board. Her posts were deleted. An official apology was issued to us. Neighbors started coming by, with cookies, with handwritten notes, with genuine regret. They admitted they believed her without question. They admitted they were wrong. And slowly, Eli started stepping outside again. A little at a time. Healing isn't instant, but safety helps. Cliffhanger. We thought the story ended there. We were wrong, because Karen still had one final move to make. A week later, Karen posted a video online. A victim video. Tears, filters, dramatic captions, claiming she was unfairly targeted, silenced, and canceled. The comments were mixed. Some believed her, some questioned. So we made a decision. We posted the truth, all of it, with captions, with context, with Eli's permission. We explained his story, his life, his disability, his humanity. The video spread faster than anything I've ever seen. Thousands of shares, hundreds of thousands of views, strangers flooding the comments with support for Eli. Deaf creators stitching the video, telling their own stories. Educators using it as an example of why accessibility and empathy matter. Karen's narrative collapsed overnight. The internet saw the truth. Resolution. Eli didn't ask for attention, but what he gained from it was something he'd lost. Confidence. He started going on walks again. He started smiling at neighbors again. He started living without fear again. And the neighborhood? It changed. HOA policies were updated. Disability awareness training became mandatory. A community ASL workshop was scheduled. Out of something cruel came growth. Closing reflection. Here's the thing about people like Karen. They thrive on silence, on misunderstanding, on power without accountability. But the moment light hits their behavior, it crumbles. My brother was never the problem. The real problem was a world that didn't listen. So we made them listen. And we're not done yet.